out. Nylon loves dyed liquids. Do you see any dyed liquids over there? Well, how about Gatorade? How about Kool-Aid? How about Candle? How about Pepto-Bismol? How about cough medicine? It goes on and on and on. Nylon loves those. I don't want to go too far into the detail of why, but basically nylon has dye sites. And those dye sites are positively charged. You dye a carpet by reacting it with a negatively charged dye. And that's exactly what's in Kool-Aid and all those other things. So when you're trying to deal with that kind of stain, you're trying to remove something that's chemically reacted with the carpet. She may think it's just something that's been spilled on there and just sitting there. No, ma'am, it has chemically reacted. And here's part of education again. Ma'am, did you know that how they dye carpet? The carpet has dye sites on it, positive dye sites, and they react it with negatively charged dyes. That happens to be the very same kind of dye that's in Kool-Aid and most pop, etc. And so it reacts too. What we're trying to do is to remove a dye off of something that has been dyed. And so I will do my very best, but I have to be careful because may reach a point where I can't go any further because I may start pulling out some of the dye that the carpet was dyed with. Now, I may even know, I'm looking at it and thinking, I'll probably get all this out, but what am I doing? Well, I'm guarding myself, but I'm under-promising. I'm going. What is she expecting to see? She's expecting you have in your pocket a bottle of some magic elixir that you whip out and you go bang, and the stain disappears. Smoke appears and it's gone. And you don't want her to think that. You lower her expectations. You under-promise with the idea of over-delivering. Always under-promise and over-deliver. Everybody does exactly the opposite. Synthetic dyes. Kool-Aid, NyQuil I showed you. Betadine, what's betadine? Betadine is iodine mixed with polyvinyl pyrrolidone. I have all these big words, PVP. It's a polymer, but it's commonly used where? Surgery, nursing homes, hospitals, etc. Makes a terrible stain. They usually try to remove it with the magic elixir peroxide. Guess what happens? It makes it worse. It's the exact opposite of what needs to be used. It takes a reducing bleach, which we'll talk about. Just for men, hair dye. Oh, I used this for a while and finally surrendered. That's a terrible stain to get. Gatorade. Miracle Grow. Do you suppose it's green because there's some natural organic thing in there that's green? Oh, come on. Iodine tincture, Pepto-Bismol, Popsicles. It just goes on and on and on. Because dog food, do you suppose it's nice red because it's nice fresh meat? It's got a dye in it. All these things have dyes in it. Usually people think, okay, it's a synthetic dye, I use red relief. Ain't necessarily so. If it's a red dye, yes. Like this, the NyQuil. Like this, the Pepto-Bismol. Like this, Gatorade. Red Kool-Aid, yes. Well, what are we talking about? Well, let's take a look at these labels. Then we'll probably be time for a break. What's in these? Well, let's see here. Oh man, this is nasty stuff. Yellow 6, red 40. What are those? Those are negative. Okay, I think we can have lunch now. Oh, this sounds terrible. Brominated vegetable oil. Oh, that's gross. Anyhow, yellow dye and red dye 40. That's what's in there. How about what's in here? Oh, I need my glasses. Where are we? Okay, here we go. Red 22, red 28, and a bunch of other stuff. What is that? What's in here? I think if I remember right, this, for some reason, once they get small enough a bottle, they don't have to list the inactives. It doesn't have, obviously it's a red dye. That's what's in there. How about here? Kool-Aid. Anytime you look at a label, red 40, blue 1. Red 40. Red 40, blue 1. That's in those Kool-Aids. So what are these? They're negatively charged dyes. Normally, we get those out with a reducing bleach, Red Relief. Red Relief, as I said before, is a reducing bleach. It is the exact opposite of Stain Magic. It removes oxygen from the molecule. The stain is still there. We simply change the dye into a colorless dye, but it's really still there. Stained area covered with a damp towel, heat it with steam heat, we'll talk about that in a little bit, and extract. But if it's blue Kool-Aid, we do the same thing but with Stain Magic. Synthetic dyes, most synthetic dyes. It's a reducing bleach, which means it pulls oxygen off the molecule. It always smells a little bit sulfury. You mix up equal parts of A and B, or you use the dual chamber, sitting up here. Apply the stained area. How heavy? Soaked. Of course, this is after you've cleaned, okay? Because if this is Kool-Aid, it's got sugar in it. Cover with a damp towel. Steam heat 1 to 4 minutes. We have to check every 30 seconds because, yeah, well, no, I'm not going to melt it. That's part of the reason to pull the dye out of the carpet. Yeah. Extract, dry blot. With blue Kool-Aid, it's Stain Magic. So we've got some exceptions here. Stain Magic, it evaporates. You don't have to rinse it out. Red Relief, you must rinse out. It does not evaporate. It keeps on bleaching. That's bad and it's good. If you don't rinse it out, you could, it looks great today and you get a call tomorrow that, yeah, you got my stain out and guess what? My tan carpet is now white there. I much preferred the red stain to that, what you've done to me. But the good thing is if there's a little bit left behind, it's amazing. Sometimes you've done it and there was a little bit left. By tomorrow, it's gone because there was enough of the Red Relief even after rinsing that it finished the job for you during the night. But be sure to rinse it out. It's accelerated by steam. It's only for synthetic dyes and stains. Gatorade, but not blue Gatorade. Kool-Aid, but not blue Kool-Aid. Jello, etc. Extract. Equal parts. Spray it. Soak it. Damp towel. Steam iron. I already showed you the proper kind of steam iron. Extract it out. Stain's gone. Blue dye. Blue Kool-Aid, toilet bowl cleaner, blue Kool-Aid, green Listerine. Those, instead of Red Relief, you use Stain Magic, but you do the same thing. The spray kit comes separately. The kit comes with bottles, pints or quarts, and you can buy. And I already talked about it's done, it's used exactly like the Stain Magic. Just be careful, don't add Red Relief to Stain Magic. Be careful to add Part A into the bottle that says Part A, etc. I have here Then I'm going to call on you to come up. I have some Kool-Aid stained pieces of carpet. I have two. I have one on a stain resist carpet, and I have one on the CTI sent me on a Stainmaster type carpet. All right, I don't know how long theirs Kool-Aid's been on there, but I know it has to have been a while because they shipped it to me a month ago. I told them we were going to do this class. Two things I want you to see. The advantage of a stain resist fiber here is, as I showed you earlier, what's supposed to happen if I put water on it. It's supposed to bead up. So knowing that, what are my chances of getting this out? Huh? I heard that 80%. Okay, you did. 80%. Okay, that sounds pretty good. But since it beads up and they left it on there, where did it go? You notice this versus it's twice as big on the backing. And this is, to me, this is cheating. Are you ever going to take Kool-Aid off of brand new, never walked on, never cleaned, never spotted piece of carpet? Oh, he's saying, yeah. It might, but it's not likely. I have here a piece of never been treated carpet, and it just goes through. So there's no stain protection here whatsoever. What are my chances? You said 80%. What are my chances of getting it out of here? 80% again? Well, I know it's not going to be 100% because, again, I've got dye sites available here. There was no Teflon or Scotchgard on here. It penetrated immediately. There's no stain blocker on here, so every single dye site that was available, the red dye has reacted to. So when you're educating your customer, you're explaining to the customer, you never start removing this, just go at it. You educate the customer. You're professional. You're lowering your expectations. You want to come away as a hero. Okay?
What do you got?
Red Kool-Aid, non-stain resist, non-treated. So about 50% of the dye sites are available here. They have not been dyed. They're just sitting there waiting to be dyed is what we've got here. What this represents is the absolute worst piece of carpet you'll ever run into. In other words, this carpet is 12 years old. It's been walked on so much, the Scotchgard is gone. It's been cleaned so often that most of the stain blocker is gone. So what I can't give you a truly representative, so I thought what I can do is I'll give you the range. Here's the best, which you'll probably never run into. Here's the worst that you'll probably never, oh, he says always. Okay, always. After it's been scrubbed and everything else. Okay. You volunteered. Well, come on up. He volunteered. Let me get you all fixed up here. I didn't know how this was going to work out. All right, step one is going to be what? Clean it. This is just water in here. There you go. I like this. Isn't that ridiculous? Now try the other one. Okay. All right, now let's show what we have. There's just a trace, and it was just water. That's cheating. But okay, but I want you to show something. You may feel pretty good. Where's the problem? This is gonna come back. So, but look at this. 0, well, something even worse. It spread. It dissolved a little bit and spread it. It made it worse. So now, what he's going to do, he is going to, I got to squirt the water out of here. You know, they keep wondering what's wrong with this carpet in here. Both. Soaked. I'll get you a towel. No. No. There you go. What do you smell? You smell alcohol, don't you?
Yeah.
Smell alcohol and maybe a little ammonia. Okay. Wait till you smell it after you get started on this. Okay, we're going to cover it with, we're going to cover this one and this one. So we'll do it separately. We'll cover that to start with. Here's your iron. Don't hurt yourself. It doesn't, it's not going to transfer, it reacts. Remember what we're doing. There's some transfer taking place. You're done. But let's be sure. Now look what's happening. You were asking about transferring. You notice what's going on? It's not transferring out of the backing. It's already turning it yellow. It's chemically reacting with it. We could keep playing with that, but that's good. Now let's try this. You don't have to rub it. You just hold on to it. About 30 seconds. We'll take a quick peek. Be ready with your red relief to add some more if you need to. Ready to take a peek? Okay, you want to try some more? See, he's an expert already. You've done a few of these. Have you had any this bad?
Yeah, I had red squirt. Pop.
Oh.
Got it all out.
We're not necessarily going to try to remove it all because we have a limited amount of time. You want to try a little more? Who said 80%?
You did.
No, I don't think it was Bob. See, Bob's already ready. He's gonna Well, how are we doing? Are we getting it all? Almost. I think it's time we can stop. We can stop. Go ahead. Thank you, sir. We could keep going, but we don't want to waste time. All right. It's gone, except for in the backing. What should I be doing, or should I had him do next? Yeah, you need to flush that out. Keep going. I'd say what, 80%? About 80%. I need to keep working on it. I'm not going to worry about it. The other thing you notice, do you see any on the edge anymore? It's gone. Betadine iodine. It looks like this. That's the stain it leaves. Have you ever been to the hospital and they put something on you where they've injected or cut you and it leaves a yellow stain? That's what this is. Well, I'll do this one. We'll extract. Oh. I did very little, and this is on that stain resist carpet. It's a worse stain than Kool-Aid. Hit it with red relief. . Work it in. I can use the iron on this, but what I'm going to do is leave it for a few minutes because I have a feeling it's going to remove. Use the steam iron if it doesn't quickly disappear. In about 5-10 minutes, that'll be gone. I'm going to take this piece of carpet, again, non-stain resist nylon. First step is to extract. That removes the polymer that's in the betadine, but it doesn't do much of anything for the stain itself. We apply our red relief heavily again because there's quite a bit down here in the backing. Work it in with a whiz groom. As you can see, use the iron with it. It's not really necessary in this case. Usually it disappears almost instantly. But there was a little trace left. Of course, remember, we have to extract that out or it'll continue working on the carpet fibers themselves, stripping out dye out of the fibers. Dry blot as always. And it's gone not only out of the face fibers, but it's gone out of the backing as well. There's a big, major secret to hair dye. There's a big no-no. Do not use hydrogen peroxide or an enzyme or stain magic on hair dye. Power gel, red relief, and if all else fails, is a cookie cutter, like that one right there. Agitate it, extract, red relief, iron, extract, and it was gone.